right. Well, welcome to our mastermind today. I'm very happy to be back with you after spending a week with two beautiful twin girls who were born September 16th. Hooray. Yay. Can't wait to go back, but it's all good. Business keeps going on, right? All right. One of the things that I need to do here is I need to make Marti Justice a co-host. So here's what we're going to do today, ladies. We are going to help a sister out. And we are going to help Marti Justice. We have been working on one of her lead magnets, which is a webinar that she's going to be offering in October. And so she is going to run through that to work through some of the rough edges of it, get some feedback, because she wants this to be the best webinar possible. And the goal of this webinar, like I said, it is a lead magnet. It's to connect her to her target audience so that she can get them into a sales conversation, a consultation, and ultimately book them for her wardrobe styling services. So Marti, I went ahead and made you co-host. So if you want to go ahead and take over the screen and get your slides up and ready. And while you're doing that, I'll just share what else we'll do here. So Marti's webinar, it's going to take most of our time for us to go through it and then just help her and give her some feedback. And I want you to be real. You know, she wants the real feedback. She wants to know what's going really well and what can be even more effective. So I want you to just feel open. We're all a close-knit group here. And yeah, and so you'll want to take some notes let's just go through the experience first, and then we'll do the feedback afterwards. And then if we have time after that, we'll do a little bit of talk about sales conversations and all of your questions if you want feedback. Okay. All right. So Marti, are you ready to rock and roll?
Is ready.
All right.
Hey ladies, I'm super excited about doing this with y'all. So thank y'all so much for joining today, and let's just get going. Before we get started, please feel free to post your answers in the chat. I also forgot to do this, but I don't even know where my thing went. I'm sorry. Like, I wanted to post my link, but I'll just go through it as if y'all are link. Okay. So welcome everybody. I'm super excited to answer these wonderful questions about your wardrobe today. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I have posted my link in the chat so that at the end, you can just click on that link and you can get connected directly to my website and my inquiry, and you can get set up for a free 30-minute consultation. I'll talk a little bit more about that toward the end. Also, will you please post your answers in chat so that I'm able to answer those questions. And okay, real quick, I don't know what my whole thing is doing, but I can't see chat. So I need to ask, how do I do that? Because it's not showing it on my screen.
Let me see if I can say something here. So do you see, do you see down for your bar?
I have only the bar. That's it. It's not allowing me to.
Is there a more button with dots?
Huh?
Is there a more button with dots?
Yeah. Yep. Let's see. Reactions, disable.
So
no. I guess we can talk about that later because it didn't.
If you exit full screen, because I saw an exit full screen option, it might give you your bar back when you were down there in the bottom right.
So the problem is, no, it's literally doing nothing but showing just this.
Gotcha.
It's not, yeah, I don't understand. Even when it started, it didn't share the same. It was weird. So I don't want to let that bother me, but
Yeah,
I won't be able to see your chat.
I'll moderate for you.
Perfect. All right, then I'll go back to that. Thank you. All right, so let's get to it. My name is Marti Justice. I am the owner of Marti J Styles. I'm a personal wardrobe stylist for busy working mamas. And my goal today is to answer these questions for y'all so we can start building a wardrobe that you love on you. Oops. So what we're going to do is we are going to first talk about the number one reason working moms are less confident than the average woman, finding those hidden gems in your closet and how to get to let go of those that don't suit you. And lastly, but not the least, top 5 fixes for the top 5 mistakes working mamas make. All right, so let's start with this first question. The number one reason working moms are less confident than the average woman. Will you please post your answer in the chat? And while you're doing that, I'm just going to zoom in on a word that is a buzzword in our culture right now, which is confident. I know that that word can get thrown around, but do you really know what that means? And as I have thought about that, I want to define it for us. Fresh and new, a feeling of self-assurance arising from one's appreciation of one's own abilities or qualities. For you to be confident, you have to be aware of your own abilities and qualities and be assured by them. That is not an outside, just putting on clothes. That's an inside work. So because of that, most of us struggle with knowing even what to wear because we're not assured of what we like and what we don't like. And confidence is not only key for your well-being, it is also key for building a wardrobe that you love. So with that being said, what are some answers to this question?
So Marty, Amanda Gleason has said, I know for me, my body changed a lot after having babies and it makes me self-conscious. So
Okay,
that was, yeah. And so to clarify the question, what everybody thinks is the number one reason.
Yeah.
You're asking them what they think the number
Yes.
one
What
is.
is the number one reason? Yes. Anybody else?
I will say, well, Crystal's saying not enough time. And I would agree with that as well. I feel like I'm always rushing and taking the time to get really fancy smancy that's like a luxury.
Oh, a luxury. That's interesting. Okay. All right.
And Victoria agrees. She says, me too. I agree. And then Amanda says, wanting to be comfortable when running after kids. Victoria's saying too much going on to pay attention to my looks. And then for Rachel, cost is an issue.
Cost, yes. Cost is an issue. Great answers. Thank you so much. And a lot of you did hit on the answer that I find is most common for all women, especially working mamas, is taking time for yourself. Just taking the time to invest, to build the confidence, to know what you love about what you do love and what you don't love about your look or what your body type is. There's all kinds of things, but taking that time to even know those things is the number one thing. To build the confidence, you have to take the time in your schedule to do so. All right. Thank y'all for those answers. And hold on. Next is how to find hidden gems in your closet and let go of those that don't suit you. So the first thing that I would highly recommend for you guys is find your foundational pieces. Without those foundational pieces, you cannot build a real wardrobe. And we'll get to more information on what foundational pieces are in just a little bit. The next one is to create a strategic shopping list. So taking your foundational pieces, you can then go in your closet and discover, oh shoot, I don't have this on that foundational list. I don't have that. When you joined this webinar, I gifted you a foundational wardrobe checklist. In that checklist, that will help you understand, like even taking that through your closet and going, okay, what do I have? What don't I have? That's how you can build a strategic shopping list to help you over time build the real wardrobe that will help you go from one thing to the next. The next one is taking out those ill-fitting clothes. So while you're in that closet and you're investigating what those items are on that foundational list, you can also try on those clothes and see which ones do not fit you and which ones do. Keep a running list of your needs. Okay, let's say you don't have a black blazer and you need that. Maybe you don't have the funds right now. You put it on a list, you make a budget, you create something to go back to and make it your business to do so. This is about building confidence. This is how you get it done. Replace one step at a time. So you keep that running list so that you can take that list and do it one step at a time. And do this for each season. So now those foundational pieces, they will stick unless you're fluctuating in your weight. Don't keep those pieces in there if they're not working. You deserve to put your body in clothes that fit you well so that you can continue to look your best and keep that confidence rolling. So one of the things that I will say to y'all about this, I have found that most of my clients really struggle with accepting the fluctuations of their body. It keeps all of us from really moving toward looking confident all the time, because we think if we lose weight, we don't know what to do, or if we gain weight, we don't have, well, I'm not going to go buy me any clothes because I don't want to be in these clothes because I'm too big, I'm this. So I just want to encourage you to not allow those thoughts to sabotage you, because you really will not feel confident when you get dressed. How many of you would say, just by a raised hand, that you struggle with feeling confident when you feel like you've gained that weight, and or let's say you haven't gained that weight and you haven't went shopping for a while and your clothes are just sitting there and they've gotten old? You don't, how often are you feeling confident when you walk out that door? Do you feel confident? Do you go to the closet going, whoa, I can't wait to get dressed today? It's a lackluster wardrobe. Come on, y'all, we can do better, right? All right, next, now we're ready to get to our main conversation, which is the top 5 wardrobe and styling mistakes busy working moms make. All right, mistake number one is scheduling time to choose your outfit. Okay, so what does that even mean? That means putting it on the calendar or making a conscious effort to say, Sunday night, I'm going to actually lay out my outfits. Maybe you choose for just one day, maybe it's the night before, or maybe that Sunday you choose to do it for the whole week. That, you talk about time saver. I was working at my son's school for a year, and it was a challenge for me because I do not like time limitations. I'm pretty much late all the time. So I needed to build some time into my life because I know that it takes me forever in the morning. So it's really, really important. I did not do this at the beginning, and it really was hard for me to get to work on time. But when I began to make that a part of my routine, it really helped me to not have to worry about, and I'm artistic, so then I'm jumping all over the place. It just takes out all that guesswork, and it adds time to your schedule. And then you don't feel so frustrated about not having on the right fitted clothes. Sometimes I would even try on the looks the night before so that I made sure something wasn't frumpy looking or it didn't fit me too tightly because I've gained a little weight. It just takes all that guesswork. That leaves you to peace. That gives you some real peace to go to sleep and be like, okay, all I gotta do is get up, shower, and get those clothes on. So that's mistake number one. Mistake number two, missing foundational pieces. I am literally going to talk about this the entire time because I want it to be front and center in your mind. You need foundational pieces. And why do you need those? Foundational pieces are essentially the timeless basics. So I talked about this at the top. Most people don't even understand what foundational pieces are. So they are essential, timeless basics. They are the pieces that are, sorry, I can't see. Sorry, y'all. I gotta figure out where to move this screen so I don't keep, I'm sorry. All right. So they often act as the foundation for an outfit. So these are the examples: black trouser pants, a white collared shirt, a white tee, a black blazer. These are foundation. You can build a real wardrobe. And even if you had 5, 6 of these foundational pieces, different types of trousers for work, that would change and transform your whole wardrobe. You build on this, this is when you can get all fancy. Mistake number 3, wearing clothing that does not fit your body type. Okay, how many of you would say you know what your body type is? And you can post that in the chat. Sorry, y'all. Or raise your hand. That's easier. So, all right, Angie. Angie's one. I can't see everybody. So who else would be raising their hand? Victoria. All right. Yes. Most women don't. So they get very frustrated when we go to the shopping mall or we go online shopping and you don't know. The first thing that every woman needs to do is take your measurements. Just like when you go to the tailor, you get fitted for a dress, you have to get those inches off so it can make you look all great. Those are most important things because without those measurements, when you order online, it's very difficult for you to know which size, because they actually have a size table that helps you. And you can know, okay, I'm about in between this. It just helps you to have a definitive knowledge of your body. The other problem with when you don't know your body type is you don't know how to dress it. You actually can stop looking at the people in the magazines or on Pinterest or on TV and looking at them as if you have the same body type. Stop it. You can't dress like her. She doesn't have the curve. She ain't got that booty. She ain't got that breast, So you gotta dress that skin that you in. So taking those measurements are super important. They help you know what your body can wear and wear it well. Okay, ladies, we got different curves and shapes. We're smaller here and bigger there. a tailor is your best friend, because you can take a blazer that may just, it'll fit you here, but you need to show that waist because that curve is important. You need to get that tailor so it can tighten it in there. So you're not feeling uncomfortable, because when you buy it at the store, it's not tailor fit for your body. Tailoring is incredibly important. If you love it, get it tailored. If it's a quality high-end piece, get it tailored because it'll last you. And then you build in a real wardrobe, a real good foundational wardrobe. Mistake number, I don't know what number I'm at. Is that 4? Okay, 4. Number 4. All right. Underestimating the power of accessories. Listen, I love me some accessories. It can make an outfit or break it. And some people like very simple things. So that's not what this is saying. You can be very simple and add accessories in ways that show you as a classic, simple dressing style. There's nothing wrong with that. Your outfit goes from basic to elevated real quick. I mean, you think about, who is it? We saw the Queen of England pass away. And is it Kate? I can't remember her last name, but Kate is a very simple, classic woman, but she's got style. It's about the details. And so knowing that you can add a hat, you can add a scarf, those things change everything. Just even as simple as this picture right here. Sunglasses, ladies, these glasses, my spectacles, they can add style and elevate you. So that is another way to add some fun to you. Number 5, you don't know how to style those outfits and you get stuck in a rut. And that is so common. I have to have a friend help me with that, okay? Because I can get stuck in my rut. My rut just looks different. I don't know what happened. Okay. Well, foundational pieces. Have I been telling y'all that I'm literally going to tell you guys over and over and over again? You get those foundational pieces, you can build a look that you love. Without them, you can't accessorize something that doesn't fit you right, that doesn't have, you can put too many patterns. You can do so much to those foundational pieces. You can elevate those actually very quickly. Statement pieces. What do I mean by statement? Statement means a blazer that's like a Chanel blazer. And what I mean by that, it may have a texture on that blazer that brings a little more than just a regular black or navy or tan blazer. It's a step up. Those little things like colors are also a way to choose a statement piece. It will literally take you to plain Jane to, okay, I see you. And a lot of people, I would love for you guys to post in chat, what are the things that you are afraid of? Sorry, let me restate that. Are you afraid to wear certain statement pieces because you don't want to stand out? Can I get a yes with your hand? Most women are. So your next question on your own private time is to find out why. Is there a confidence issue? What is going on? We won't go into that right now. That's another time. All right. Questions. Which one of these do you struggle with the most? And if y'all could just post that in the chat, and then my girl Angie will help a sister out.
While they're posting that, we've had some really good comments.
Okay.
So like when you were talking about taking the time to figure out your wardrobe, Crystal said, some weeks I plan my entire week out. Other days I grab the first thing that I see. And And she also says, made many mistakes ordering online, not doing measurements. And she says, how do I find a tailor? So that's a question from Crystal.
And Crystal, at the end, I'm going to spend some time, Q&A time, and I'll be happy to answer that question.
Yeah, I've got some questions in here that we've got for the Q&A whenever you get ready. But
I'm ready.
So Rachel says, I don't feel comfortable in anything above the knees. And yeah, and so Crystal says, I always hide my legs.
Always hiding your legs, okay.
Yeah, Crystal has a lot to say. She's like, is plum a body type?
Is what? Plum? No.
Is plum.
Okay. And I would love, I can't wait to
plum.
answer that. A plum. No, it's not a body type. Stop it. Stop it. No, and no. I actually am offended by the apples and the pears. And I'm so thankful that I have learned so much from different people that have been in this industry for a while. And they help you see your body not as a pear or an apple, because we're not shaped like them at all. So knowing your measurements is what will give you your body type. So so which one of these do you struggle with the most? So did they answer that question?
Yeah, so Amanda says, I struggle with putting pieces together that I already have. I'm also a little wary of bright color or too fashionable because I don't like to stand out.
Okay, all right.
And then Victoria says, I'm very self-conscious about outfits that emphasize my midsection.
Okay, so fit, and then being aware of what the style is and restyling and how to refresh your closet. Is that what I heard? So yes, fit is always huge. And again, knowing how to camouflage your areas is incredibly important. And that's where a stylist helps you. I know how to put certain things in place to help you to not focus on those things. So when you walk out the door, you're not looking in the mirror, looking at your side view, walking past something. You know how we do. All of those things are literally going through our minds. So even if you do, you can know, oh, you know what? I might be thinking that, but everybody else does not see that on me. It's reframing the way you see yourself first, so that you're not going out thinking about what everybody else is thinking about. No, I look great. I looked in that mirror this morning. I might have to do a side tuck. That's a tip. That's something that helps because you get an angle going. There are different ways we can help our bodies so we're not always comparing ourselves, even to ourselves. Reframing is really important for this one. And Amanda, refresh is all about adding certain things. It's going back to that question at the beginning, finding those hidden gems. It would be you going in and seeing what you need to add to bring a little more. If you don't want to stand out, I feel like there's a reason why, but I don't want to go into that. However, even working within where you are right now, you could take some things like maybe add some pattern, maybe a little simple pattern under a blazer. That would bring a little more, but it won't overpower you. Does that make sense? So refreshing your wardrobe has more to do with adding things because you're used to it, or even taking things that you haven't done, like even trying. Just be adventurous. Don't put yourself in a box. Go into your closet and be like, okay, I'm going to just grab some stuff and I'm just going to see if I mix it up and try it on, if it will look good. Just that would be like a fun exercise. All right. I don't even know how much time. Okay. All right. Here's some tips to help us with. We've already talked about this. The answer to getting your wardrobe a step up out of those places and those mistakes is to liven up your style with accessories. You want to accessorize, ladies. Let's put a little pearl necklace if you're not a statement necklace girl. You can put a scarf on your purse. You can buy a different colored purse even that would contrast your outfit. I do that all the time. Y'all see me on here. I'll have on, like, I've seen Crystal do this as well. I love turquoise. So I put that against, I can put that against camel. I can put it against purple. There's all kinds of ways of accessories, and just doing those little things like doing contrast changes the game. And it's simple. And number 2 is, if you love it, get it tailored. Get it tailored. You won't regret it. Lastly, take your measurements so you can know how to shop for your body type. Okay? All right. So now let's talk about what I offer. I offer a platinum package, which is complete closet confidence makeover. Man, you want to talk about, you get everything in the kitchen sink, everything in the kitchen sink. You literally are doted on. It is my awesome job to make you feel like a queen, because guess what? You're super busy. You don't have the time. That's why we're talking about this, to go out, go shopping, figure out your style, figure out what your body type is, and then try to style the clothes. You don't have that. So I detox your wardrobe. I make sure I get those clothes. You can shop with me. You can shop without me. I mean, you don't have to come with me. I can take care of you and bring that room to you. And then we do a fitting, and the first fitting we do is just to decide on the clothes that will show to your friends and family. If you are that girl, you want this one. This one will provide so much, and not just that, a memorable book that I create for you with all of your styles in there, and the memories of you with your family, and them seeing you make this really, really confidence building time. Gold Boost is boost your closet confidence. It is all about building your confidence. It's starting from that inside out work. It's working on what I know, I get to learn about, bringing out that inside out. What is it that I know about you that's your value, that's your creativity? What is it that will help me dress your body and move you into a confidence? So every day you're walking out that door like, I look good. Or going into your closet like, I got stuff to choose from, so I can look good. Silver is for my ladies that just want to get a starter. They just want to start off, get a taste, figure out, okay, how do I actually do this? I work with you to get those things going. I offer a free 30-minute consultation. So that's free of charge. If you just are curious and you want to know a little more about how to do this, I would love that. You can also, okay, Angie, I'm going to pause real quick, because with me having all these difficulties, I was supposed to take them and like do a little tutorial of how to get to where, but if I have my tag in the, my link in the comment section, I could probably say, okay, so now is when we're talking about that link that I posted earlier. If you haven't, I'm gonna repost it again. And you guys can click on that link and it will take you straight there, because that takes you straight to my inquiry, right?
Yes. And so, Marty, what I would say, just also, you can, where it says www.martistyles.com, I would put martistyles.com/transformation, because that takes them directly to the inquiry booking page.
Okay. I'll do that. All right. So now that you know a little more about me, I just want to thank you for your participation. Thank you for listening well. And I also would love to answer some of your questions that you had in the chat.
Okay. And so, Marty, I would say if this happens again where you can't see the chat, you can invite people to come off of mute.
Okay.
Too, so that they can actually ask.
Okay. All right. Okay.
So would you rather do that, or would you rather me read the questions?
Let's go ahead and come off chat
Okay.
I like that.
Okay.
right.
So, who has a question? Raise your hand.
Crystal, go Crystal.
Okay, on your slide number one with mistake one, it was a little
Yep.
confusing to me. So is the mistake not making time? Or is the
Okay,
mistake,
that's a good question. Hold
because
on.
like the way it reads to me when you're looking at slide one, where it says mistake number one, it says, you know, schedule time to close your outfit, you know, to choose your outfit. So I was like, so is making the time the mistake, or? So I was kind of
Hold
confused.
on just 1 second. Let me get
Yeah,
back to it.
right there, number 12. Yeah.
Schedule
So should it say
time to
mistake
choose
number
your.
one, not scheduling time to choose your outfit?
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay, so let's ask the questions that are about. Some of you had some fashion questions.
Right,
We'll get to
that's-
feedback.
yeah.
from y'all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just wanted to know if that was the mistake. So I should be making time, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. That is one of the reasons. It may not be the one. That's why I asked at the end,
Yeah.
like, what is your main issue? But I heard you say that you do that. Is that correct?
I do.
Okay. Okay.
That's not my number
right.
one. I just wanted to know if that was anyone else's. Okay.
Okay. All right. Anybody, what else? Anybody else have a question? Want to come off
Yeah.
mute and ask?
So my question is, how do you make time? And I don't know if this is even relevant or if you can help. How do you make time when you're always busy, busy, busy? Like it just seems like there's always one thing with kids or anything like that. So it makes sense to make time, and you know that would definitely help. It seems like, I don't know, harder.
Yes, it is hard, because what do you put first in your life, Victoria?
Okay, you got
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Because I do it too. I know that because I do it too. So the
Yeah.
answer is, what is important?
Yeah.
Does this matter to you? Does your presentation, and I'm not talking about presentation because you're trying to sell somebody. I'm talking about for yourself.
Right.
Does that matter to you? Because
Mm.
most people make this seem, no, the outfits are a byproduct of what you feel and believe about you.
Right.
My problem, I will overdress when I'm struggling. That's my way. So I have to know that about myself. And sometimes I literally will not allow myself to put on makeup, to get dressed, because I need to show myself I'm not trying to put on a show. So for some of us though, we're afraid to put on clothes because we don't want to be noticed. So it's working backward. You know this, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
What would you say? I got another question. What would you say is a good way to try to rid your closet of things?
So I talked about in how to find the hidden gems in your closet and let go of those that don't. I highly recommend taking the foundational wardrobe handout checklist. And that would mean you have to purpose the time. You have to set aside, let's say you set aside a Sunday afternoon, a couple of hours, put on some fun music that you love, and you go in your closet with the intention of like going through and going, okay, let me see, what do I have? This does fit me. It fits what I want to make. It makes me feel good. I like this on me. I like the color. Like when you are going through it, like with those thoughts in your mind. Then with the other ones, there would be like, nope, this does not fit. This is old as dirt. I've had this for decades. It needs to go. And you can give it away. You can do all kinds of things. But and some of the things are like, you got holes, you got dark spots get rid of it, throw it away. And so does that make sense? Does that help you?
Mm-hmm.
So I would use that foundation. That's what I do. I use the foundational checklist because it helps me to remember what my goal is. Anybody
Okay,
else?
so Marty, let's go ahead and bring it to a
ready.
close so that we get to feedback.
Okay, I'm ready. Am I doing a close? I thought, okay, thank
Yeah, how
y'all
are
for
you gonna
coming. I really appreciate y'all showing up. I would love to do work with you because this is my jam. I absolutely love it. So please get in contact with me. Click on that link. Come check me out.
All right.
All right.
All right, all right. Well, everybody, so let's start with why don't we just do this in an orderly fashion and just go one person at a time, and each person can share something that you really loved about it, or that that was really positive, and then share something that you feel like would make this even better. So who would like to go first?
I can go. Or
Okay.
Okay.
We'll
So
have Amanda and Victoria, then Crystal, then Rachel.
So what I really liked were a couple of the, I'll call them gems that are sayings that you had, like dress for the skin you're in. I really love that. It's a really good way to kind of frame kind of how we view ourselves and how we view our clothing. I really liked the talk that you had about reframing. So reframing how you view yourself and how you dress yourself, and just kind of some of the deeper analysis that you talked about when you think about like how you view yourself and how you dress. So I just thought those were really good, and it brings kind of the psychology of it forward without being too textbooky. So I really liked that piece of it. And I liked how you focused on, it's not about how much you spend on your clothes, what labels you wear. It's not about being fashionable or trendy. It's really about, dressing in a way that you feel confident and you're showing kind of how your personality comes out through your clothes, I guess. So I just really like that piece of it, how it's not about, I guess, the acquisition of things. It's really about, presenting yourself well. So those were great things I really liked. I think where you could practice a little bit more is on the end where you're talking about your packages, like really kind of honing that in, like bulleting out what's included in each package and the difference between that. So, and I think that, but you know what that is. So I just do a better job of outlining that.
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you.
So I also appreciate that, sharing those foundational pieces. I've heard that word, but I don't even know what they are. So I was like writing down so I could go check what I have in my closet. I also like how you responded to my questions, particularly because it's a matter of prioritizing, knowing what's important. And I think it was important for me to hear that so I can reframe my mind, and also emphasizing that it starts from the inside. It's not so much of dressing of the outside, but like that confidence comes from the inside. I also really like that you infuse your personality in the presentation too, your choice of words and the smiling and the laughing. I really like that. I think that brings your personality. One of the things that I would like to see more of is at the very end, kind of like with your offer, I think that it would be consider doing a limited time offer. So maybe instead of talking about all your packages, talk about one thing that would get people hooked on that they want to go and sign up right now. And then during that sign up, talk about something you can now upsell them to something else. Because people don't make decisions when they are overwhelmed, when there's so many choices, but have that one offer. And I think the other thing I wanted to say real quickly is that when you started your presentation, I'm assuming that people already know who you are and what you do, maybe kind of like a landing page. So that would bring them to sign up for this presentation, because I would like to see a little bit more about you, why credibility, you know, you are just looking at you, like you dress so beautifully. And I'm like, oh, wow, she got it. But like maybe talking a little bit about your background and like how long you've been doing this and some of the work that you've done, you know, just for those people that don't know a lot about you. And but again, I don't know how they're coming to sign up for this presentation. So you may have already answered that.
No, that's really good. Thank you.
It's our 60-second introduction that we do, that you just need to insert that in at the beginning.
Yes, I did, but I just told them what I did. I just said Marti Justice, Marti J Style, you know, owner, blah, blah, blah. I didn't give specifics of what that meant. So
Yeah.
I
Here's
just,
how I got started. Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah, here's how I got started. Yep, I'll do that.
that's where I was going to start with mine, is in that introduction, is that we know who you are, but anybody else is not going to know who you are. So you want to kind of have like a little intro slide, just says, you know, welcome, thank you for coming. Here's a little background story about myself. And sorry, my phone is ringing, you know, like I don't know who that is. And then in addition to that, it's kind of like then lead into the, like, you know, here's what we're going to be talking about today. So have like a little summary slide of, instead of just jumping right into like, you know, like
I did have that.
I was like, but I was like, I don't know, maybe I was like, maybe I checked out.
Yeah, it's right here. It's right here.
Yeah, okay. So we're resorting moms are less competent. Okay. Jen's the top 5. Okay.
But but Crystal, what you might be hearing is that I may not have transitioned well. I think I was talking about my problem. I couldn't see the chat.
Yeah.
That might have like totally made this very disjointed.
Yeah,
So
because I think
totally
that's when because I think that's when that's when the chat was not available. So it's like it kind of transitioned awkwardly. So it's like you probably have more there, but I don't think you got to do it.
No, I got to do it.
Manner.
It just didn't. Yeah, it just didn't flow. That's good. Okay.
Yeah, and it's like, and then the other thing is like I love like the aesthetics of it. It's a pleasing color. It's you have very good, you know, photographs. Even like the one like down at the bottom of yourself did when you had your info to contact you on the very end, like that one has you at the beginning. At the very end, do you have you as well?
I don't think so.
That's a good point.
Yeah, that is really
because you
good.
want your image to be the last thing they see.
Okay, thank you.
So
no, I didn't. Okay.
I would put yourself there because and then so like when you have it up on Q&A, you can say thank you for participation. We're going to do, because and leave this up and they're going to see your face. They're talking to you. Here's your, they're going to make that connection with that with you. And then your packages, kind of like how Victoria was saying is that I feel like it's like you started out with platinum and then like you went backwards. I think maybe you should go the other way around. It's like, hey, you know, right now we can do a free, you know, I'm offering free consultations. I'm also offering, because of a package of, because you have attended this webinar, I'm offering, you know, my, you know, silver package at a reduced rate or my gold package at a reduced rate. However, there are these other options too, you know, kind of lead it like that. Like here you get a free consultation. Because you attended this webinar, I'm offering this at a discounted rate. And then going forward is like, if you want to purchase the higher packages, you know, then we can discuss those too, you know, kind of like go back and forth to kind of like, it's kind of like people remember the first thing and the last thing that you say. The middle sometimes gets forgotten.
Okay.
But I think you're doing a phenomenal job. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you, girl. Appreciate it. That was good feedback.
Okay, Rachel.
So Marti, I just want to say great job. Really well with energy, and you really have a passion for what you're doing, which is so important as an entrepreneur. My suggestion for your chat issue is to invest in a second screen.
I have an iPad. I can use that.
Well, does your iPad connect to your laptop? Like as a second monitor?
I don't know. I don't, maybe not. I don't know.
I just
Okay.
know that when I'm doing stuff online and doing consultation calls and things online, I have my chat over on like the screen that I'm not using, that my camera is not on, and it just makes things a lot easier for me. I mean, take that with a grain of salt, because then everything's not on one screen.
Mm,
So
okay, that's good.
yeah, my
Thank you.
my only comment is, and it's a twofold comment. You really know your audience of busy working moms. The
Thank
the the flip side of that is I'm not a busy working mom. So
Mhm.
I mean, and this is something you want to talk to Angie about, because I know she talks about, we want to be who we want to be for, and not just collect all the fish, but we want to go fishing for the right
Right,
fish.
exactly.
Angie, I think I said that correctly, but
Yep.
I don't fit your niche. So what is there for me, because
Yep.
I still have the same issues, but I'm not a busy working mom. So that was my only kind of like feedback. And the word to me, stylist, and this is just a personal thing, but to me, I hear stylist, I'm like, cha-ching, cha-ching, So
Mhm.
I don't know if there's a way to fit in some sort of feedback on, there's a way for everybody to afford this. And like you probably noticed, I put cost as one of the reasons I don't update my outfits.
Mhm.
So that's for me. That's my personality and where I'm at budget wise. So
Yeah,
Thank you, Rachel.
we've worked on target audience, and I mean, it's always easy to be inclusive. I mean, this webinar was specifically for busy working moms.
and that's totally cool.
Yeah, but it can always be shifted around, busy working women. It could always be that. I mean, even if you get someone like Rachel on,
Mhm.
just being inclusive by saying, this isn't just for busy working moms, this is for busy working women, so I mean, it can be a very easy social agility trick there to call that out. Okay, so
Good.
Marti, what I'm going to say is you really started heating up after the first few minutes, after you got over the technology thing. Technology is always our nemesis. And so I always recommend that before you ever get, that you always do a dry run, you make sure that everything that you want is showing up. I love the suggestion about having, two different
Screens.
Yeah, so that you
I
can
love that.
go back and forth on that. So one of the things I would say, I would recommend that you have some actual articles of clothing that you show women. Because most people, about 65% of your audience is going to be visual. And so it'd be nice to say, you have a foundational piece, and so you actually have a prop, right? Like how many of you have a black jacket and you have a black jacket with you, or you have the accessories, you even just have a shirt on a hanger, and you put a gaudy necklace on it and say, see how much this changes this. So
Right.
that tends to spark emotion when people see the real deal.
Yep.
And that will get them kind of excited about getting a consult with you.
Okay.
On every page where you've got your website, martijstyles.com, I would just go ahead and put the link that you want them to go to book the 30-minute consult with you, and put it's /transformation. Yep. That's your page. Okay. But also early on in the presentation, you were talking about, have your foundational pieces. I would go ahead and just mention 2 or 3, because I was wondering, well, what are foundational pieces? I was actually wondering that through the whole thing until you got to it. So you might say,
okay,
you know,
So is it okay that I said that I'll get to it, or do they need to just have that repeatedly put in their minds of what
Well,
those are from the start?
no, I mean, just when you talk about it in the other section, you know, it's the very first thing that you do in those 6 items that you go over.
Mm-hmm.
And you're talking about foundation, find your foundational pieces. I mean, I would define that a little bit more, like, and when I'm talking about foundational pieces, I'm talking about, you know, a white shirt,
White collar shirt.
your
Mm-hmm.
your dress pants, a couple of, you know, whatever those foundation, you know, maybe like 2 or 3, just to give them an idea and say, I'm going to elaborate more on this a little bit later. But I think that people have a different definition of what foundational pieces, what that means.
I have a question, Angie. So do I just tell them that, or just, is that what you're saying? Or do I need to add that in this little thing?
No,
No,
I would tell
just
them
tell it.
that.
Okay,
Yes.
got it.
I thought you had like a handout or a checklist of foundational pieces. Is that right?
Yeah. Yes. Yes, they will have that, but I don't know who's going to have that uploaded and all that good
That's
stuff.
true. Gotcha.
Yeah. It's
That's a
really
good
more of
point.
a gift for those who show
Yep.
up. The other thing I would say is Canva is wonderful for designing these slides, but it's not very user friendly when you're trying to do an actual presentation, as we can see.
Yeah.
So I would either download this into a PDF, or we can even get Cart to put this into a Google slide deck for you. So it's so much easier to navigate.
Okay, that sounds good.
Well, and let me
Download
just
and
say,
see.
I see there's a presentation mode up at the top, and I don't know that you were using presentation mode.
Yeah, I was.
You were? Okay. All right.
Yes, it's just it
I just
doesn't.
wanted to make sure.
It's,
Okay.
yeah, no, I appreciate that. No, yeah.
Yeah, you have to use a second screen for it to work well, because it takes over your screen. That's what I used for my presentation the one time, but you just need
Oh
to,
yeah,
otherwise it takes it over and it's so
Yeah.
yeah. You can't see anything.
right.
I mean, and then the faces are on every, and I was like, oh, and I gotta move the face. Like trying to like not get it, let it hit, get me distracted.
Yeah.
When I was doing a lot of Zoom meetings for my corporate job, I used to have a teacher who would log on to the Zoom as herself, and then she would use her son's laptop and log on as him, not connected to her equipment or anything, just so that she
Oh.
could see exactly what the students were seeing.
That's smart. I like that. That's smart.
That added confidence to her, because she's like,
Heck
oh, okay,
yeah.
I know what you're looking at.
Right.
Yes, absolutely. Huh. Okay.
Can I ask a question, or are we? I know we're on the time right now.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I wanted to just about the presentation. I love all the information that you gave, but I was just thinking if there is, and I don't know, Angie, when you have to say to this, but would it be maybe a stronger presentation if you titled it like 5 top wardrobe styling tips for working women? So instead of going at it as the mistakes that we make, but this is how you should style. I don't know if that's translating well. So that way, because the word mistake sometimes, I mean, to me kind of sounds like, we're already beating ourselves up that we're not doing it right anyway. And then now you're pointing out the mistakes, although you're trying to give us the answers to the mistakes. So maybe like, I'm just thinking shifting all the same things, but just shifting it to like, this is how you should go about doing it. Or like some tips for how to make this, I don't know.
Yeah. So this first title that we came up with, it's really based on research, because women are more, especially right now, more likely to respond to pain than to pleasure. And so I don't know about you, but when I think I've made a mistake, boy, it's like, I need to fix that. Right. But right now, women they do not have time to say, how to have the best wardrobe in the whole world, and here are the 5 things that you can do. I mean, and you can do that. And when you're doing these webinars, you do want to test it out. This isn't going to be the first round that she does this. You know, she'll do this with a group and see how it goes. Then she can tweak it and tweak the name. I mean, all of you can do this. You can change the name to see if you get better response, and you really do have to test it to get to the best one. But I've just found in my own career too that I get a lot more response when I talk from, hey, these are the mistakes you want to avoid, and just women especially are more responsive to that.
That's good.
Which is
Thank
not,
y'all.
you know, when you're a positive mindset, you're like, oh, the 5 most awesome outfits that you could ever possibly have. I mean,
good.
that's what I'd like to name it, but nobody would show up at my webinar if I were to name it that.
I know when I read like little, scrolling through and it'll say, the 5 mistakes you've been making. I'm like, what am I making? It's like, am I doing that? Because I need to make sure I'm not doing that.
Right. Right. Well, Marti, good job. Let's give her a
Thank you.
clap.
Thank you, ladies. Thank y'all so much for your feedback. It means everything to me. I was excited to get your feedback. I'm so serious. So thank you. This was awesome.
Everybody else, this gives you some food for thought. Is there a webinar that you have that you need to do? If you want to put it together, and if you want to get feedback, you can do just like Marti did, and just let me know if you want to do that and you want to get feedback, and we'll get you on the schedule to get in front of the group. All right, in the meantime, it's time to go because I have to go to the ladies' room and on to my next meeting. So hope you have a great day. Good job again, Marti Justice. And
Thank you.
Good
Thank
job.
you.
talk to y'all
Thank you,
later.
ladies.